We often hear about the importance of staying hydrated. It almost sounds too simple, right? Just drink water and you'll be fine. But what most people don't realize is that hydration in winter is very different from hydration in summer. When it's hot outside, you sweat, you feel thirsty, you naturally reach for water. In the cold months, it's trickier. The air is dry, the heating in our homes pulls moisture from the skin and lungs, and yet the body doesn't always send out those clear, "I'm thirsty" signals. That's why so many older adults walk around all winter quietly dehydrated without even knowing it. I've seen this happen countless times. Take Mary, a 74-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. She told me she rarely felt thirsty in winter, so she only drank a couple of small glasses of water a day. One morning, while getting up to make breakfast, she suddenly felt lightheaded and fainted. Thankfully, she wasn't badly hurt, but the doctor explained that her blood pressure had dipped because her body was running low on fluids. It surprised her. How could she be dehydrated if she wasn't even sweating? That's when she learned what so many people overlook. Indoor heating can be just as drying as summer sun. Once Mary began sipping warm water throughout the day and adding herbal teas into her routine, her energy came back. She told me later, "I never realized something so simple could make such a difference." And she was right. As we get older, the body's water balance becomes more delicate. The kidneys don't concentrate urine as efficiently, so we lose fluids more quickly. The thirst mechanism also becomes weaker. What worked in your 30s simply isn't reliable in your 70s. That doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It just means your body now communicates in whispers instead of shouts. The key is to listen carefully. One way to start is by gently weaving hydration into your day without turning it into a chore. Keep a small thermos of warm water nearby while you read or watch TV. Begin the morning not with a big cold glass, but with half a cup of warm water. Your stomach will thank you. Notice the subtle signs. Are your lips dry? Is your skin itching more than usual? Do you feel a little more tired or foggy than normal? These can all be your body's quiet way of asking for fluids. And remember, it doesn't always have to be plain water. Herbal teas, light broths, even fruits like oranges or pears can contribute. Think of it less as drinking and more as nourishing your body with moisture. Ask yourself, how often do I actually drink during a winter day? Do I wait until I feel thirsty, or do I offer my body steady, gentle support? There's no need for drastic changes or strict rules, just a little more awareness, a little more kindness toward yourself. Over time, these small acts build resilience, protecting you from the fatigue, dizziness, and even illnesses that dehydration can quietly cause. And here's a small invitation. If you find reflections like this helpful, I'd love for you to subscribe so you can continue receiving more of these gentle but practical reminders. Think of it as creating a circle of support, where each week you're reminded that aging well is about wisdom, not willpower. Because truly, even the smallest changes in how you care for your body today can transform how you feel tomorrow. It feels safe indoors, doesn't it? The warmth of your favorite chair, the soft light of a lamp, the comfort of knowing you don't have to face the cold winds outside. And yet, what seems protective can sometimes quietly weaken you. The body, especially as it ages, doesn't only crave warmth. It craves light, movement, and the fresh air that stirs circulation and strengthens the immune system. When you stay inside day after day, you may not notice the changes at first, but your body notices. The immune system begins to slow, the bones miss the gentle signal of sunlight, and your mood may grow heavier without your realizing why. I think of Robert, a 79-year-old widower who lived in Minnesota. Winters there are long, and for several years he barely stepped outside from December through March. He spent his days between the kitchen, the television, and the bedroom, convinced he was protecting himself from the cold. But every February he caught a deep cough that lingered until spring. His doctor eventually explained that his vitamin D levels were dangerously low. Without enough light, his immune system couldn't mount a proper defense. When Robert started taking short walks in the morning, even just 10 minutes bundled up in his coat and scarf, he noticed he felt lighter, calmer, and he made it through the next winter without his usual illness. It wasn't a miracle, it was simply giving his body what it had been missing. The truth is, sunlight in winter is medicine, not just for the bones, but for your mood and your body's inner defenses. When the skin meets light, even if only on the face or hands, the body begins producing vitamin D. This tiny shift helps your white blood cells fight off viruses and bacteria, which is why those who spend time outdoors often notice they catch fewer colds. And yet, no one is asking you to go on long hikes or brave icy sidewalks if that feels unsafe. Sometimes it's enough to sit near a bright window for half an hour, or to step onto a porch in the morning when the air feels a little softer. Ask yourself, how often do I let my body meet the light in winter? Do I spend more days hidden away than my heart truly needs? Could I gift myself even 10 minutes of fresh air, just to feel the world moving around me? There is a gentleness in reconnecting with the outside world, even briefly. It reminds your body that you are still part of the rhythm of nature, still nourished by the same light that has carried you through all the seasons of your life. And if mobility makes it difficult to go far, remember that small steps are still steps. A single breath of fresh morning air, a single ray of light across your face, carries more power than you might imagine. Before we go further, let me gently remind you, if these kinds of reflections feel like the guidance you've been searching for, I invite you to subscribe. Think of it not as another obligation, but as joining a circle of wisdom, a place where week by week you'll find encouragement to treat your body and spirit with the care they deserve. Because sometimes all it takes is one small new habit to change the entire season of your life. When the cold months settle in, many people instinctively turn toward food for comfort. A plate of something warm, rich, and filling seems to soothe the spirit when the wind rattles at the windows. And of course, there is nothing wrong with comfort. The body and soul both need it. But the difficulty arises when the foods that feel most comforting, pastries, fried meals, heavy meats, or processed snacks, begin to replace the very nutrients your immune system depends on. Over time, this quiet shift can make the difference between staying strong through winter or falling ill again and again. You may wonder, why does this matter so much more as we age? The answer lies deep within the body. In younger years, the digestive system is resilient. It can handle excess, imbalance, even neglect. But with age, metabolism slows, the gut becomes more sensitive, and nutrient absorption is less efficient. Heavy foods that once only caused a little drowsiness now weigh down the entire system, leaving less energy for immunity, healing, and vitality. This isn't a punishment, it's simply the body's way of asking for gentler support. Imagine your immune system as a quiet guardian. It relies on vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds to stay alert. When meals become too one-sided, that guardian grows tired. Low vitamin C weakens its defenses, low zinc slows its healing, low antioxidants leave it vulnerable to stress. Add to that the thick feeling after too much sugar or fat, and you can see how comfort food sometimes carries an unseen cost. But the beauty of this stage of life is that wisdom allows us to adjust without extremes. No one is saying you should deny yourself the foods you love. Rather, you can learn to balance them in ways that keep both your spirit satisfied and your body resilient. A bowl of warm soup can still comfort, but why not add carrots, celery, or kale? A piece of bread feels familiar, but pairing it with a handful of nuts brings lasting energy. Even spices, garlic, ginger, turmeric, are not just flavors. They are allies that support circulation and immunity. Sometimes it helps to ask yourself gentle questions. Do I reach for food to warm my body or also to nourish it? Does this meal leave me feeling energized, or do I feel heavy and sluggish afterward? Am I eating out of habit or truly out of hunger? These questions are not judgments. They are simply a way to tune in, to notice the small signals your body offers you. And you don't need to change everything at once. Start by making one substitution at a time. Replace an evening cookie with a warm-baked apple. Keep a jar of mixed nuts within reach, or prepare broth-based soups with colorful vegetables instead of cream-heavy dishes. Each small step creates space for vitality to return. There's a certain wisdom in remembering that food is not only fuel, it is conversation. Every bite is a message your body reads, and the more balanced those messages are, the more clearly your body can respond with strength. When you begin to see meals this way, not as rules or restrictions but as a dialogue, it becomes less about discipline and more about harmony. And harmony is exactly what winter asks of us. To stay warm, yes, but also to remain light enough to meet the season with resilience. When the days grow shorter and the air feels heavy with winter, it's easy to believe that staying well requires something complicated, maybe even out of reach. But often, the truth lies in the smallest, most practical steps, acts so simple that they almost seem too ordinary to matter. And yet, taken together, they create the quiet foundation for health. Think of your daily routine as a series of gentle choices, each one an opportunity to support your body instead of exhausting it. The first step can be as simple as how you begin the morning. Before you reach for coffee or tea, pause for a moment of warmth and calm. Pour yourself a half cup of warm water, not too hot, not too cold, and let it ease its way through your system. It wakes the digestion gently, helps circulation, and sets the tone for the day. From there, move your body, even if only a little. Some people imagine that exercise must mean long walks or gym sessions, but in truth, your body thrives on consistent movement, not intensity. Stretch your arms slowly overhead, roll your shoulders, or walk through the rooms of your home for 5 minutes at a time. These small acts signal to your muscles and joints you are still alive, still moving, still strong. Another step is to build balance into your meals. Instead of thinking of food as a battle between good and bad, imagine it as a dialogue. A bowl of oatmeal might welcome a sprinkle of nuts or seeds for strength. A simple soup becomes medicine when you add carrots, beans, or greens. Even a snack can carry life if you choose a piece of fruit over something processed. None of this needs to be perfect. The body is forgiving. What matters is the rhythm of choices across the day. Hydration, too, is a step worth tending to. Keep a small thermos nearby with warm water or tea, and remind yourself that every sip is an act of care. Ask gently, how can I make water feel inviting rather than a task? For some, a slice of lemon brings freshness. For others, a favorite mug makes the ritual meaningful. The steps do not stop with the body alone. The mind, too, needs tending. Create a simple practice of light each day. Step outside for a few minutes, even if only to breathe the crisp air, or sit by the brightest window in your home. Light nourishes mood, steadies sleep, and reminds you that even in winter, the world still moves with life. And perhaps the most powerful step is rest. Not the restless sitting of hours before a television, but true rest. Moments where you give yourself permission to breathe deeply, to release tension, to let silence restore you. Ask yourself, do I give myself enough pauses, or do I carry the weight of the day even into the evening? Small pauses are not laziness, they are medicine. Step by step, these habits weave together into a pattern of resilience. They don't demand force or pressure, they invite kindness. You might begin with one change, then another, and notice over time that winter no longer feels like something you must endure, but something you can move through with balance. The beauty of these steps is that they don't require youth or strength, they only require willingness. And every willing step, no matter how small, is a gift you offer to your future self. Winter is not an enemy, though it often feels that way when the cold settles deep into your bones or when illness seems to arrive year after year. Winter is, in many ways, a teacher. It reminds us that life has seasons and that each season asks something different of us. Just as the trees draw inward, conserving their energy and allowing their roots to deepen, our bodies too invite us to slow down, to notice, and to nurture ourselves with a little more tenderness. The truth is, staying well in winter isn't about fighting against the season, but learning to move with it. Aging makes this lesson clearer. What once was effortless now requires thought. What once was automatic now benefits from awareness. This doesn't mean you're weaker or failing. It means your body has changed its language. The whispers of thirst, the quiet need for light, the subtle fatigue after heavy food, all of these are simply signals calling for care. If you listen, you begin to see that winter is not against you. It is offering an invitation to live in greater harmony with yourself. Remember the 3 patterns we spoke about. Hydration, that is too often overlooked when the air is dry, yet so vital for energy and clarity. The absence of light when we stay indoors, though even a few minutes of sun or a window's glow can restore strength to the immune system. The comfort foods that fill us in the moment but leave the body searching for nutrients it desperately needs. Each one of these is not a punishment, but a place of opportunity. A small cup of warm water at dawn, a gentle walk to greet the morning air, a bowl of soup filled with colors of vegetables. These are not grand acts, yet they hold the power to change the way winter feels. Ask yourself, how do I want to live through this season? Do I wish to move through it passively, waiting for spring? Or could I bring light, warmth, and balance into these months in a way that honors my body? What ritual could I create for myself? Something simple, something soothing, that turns winter from a burden into a companion. There is wisdom in realizing that care doesn't have to be complicated. Care can be quiet, repeated, ordinary. And in those ordinary acts, strength is rebuilt. It is never too late to begin. Never too late to make one gentle adjustment that transforms how your body responds to the cold months. So I invite you to treat winter not as something to endure, but as something to live with more awareness, more kindness, and more harmony. If these reflections have touched you, I encourage you to subscribe so you can continue receiving gentle guidance for this season of life. And I would love to hear from you. What is your personal ritual that helps you feel strong and balanced in winter? Share it in the comments. Your wisdom might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today.